Earnest money. You've probably heard the term, but do you actually know what happens to that money once you hand it over? Because here's what nobody tells first-time buyers. Earnest money isn't just a formality. If you don't understand how it works, it can cost you thousands of dollars. And in some cases, you can lose it completely. In this video, we're breaking down exactly what earnest money is, how much you should expect to put down, and the specific situations where buyers lose it, so you don't make that mistake. What is earnest money? Earnest money is a deposit you make when your offer on a home is accepted. It's essentially a good faith payment that tells the seller you're serious about buying, hence the name Earnest. Once your offer is accepted, that money gets deposited into an escrow account, held by a neutral third party, usually a title company or a real estate brokerage. It is not paid directly to the seller. At closing, earnest money isn't lost or extra. It gets applied toward your down payment and closing costs. So, in a successful purchase, it's simply part of the money you were already going to spend. How much is earnest money, typically? Earnest money is usually between 1% and 3% of the home's purchase price, though this varies by market and by how competitive the offer needs to be. On a $300,000 home, that could mean anywhere from $3,000 to $9,000 due shortly after your offer is accepted, typically within 1 to 3 business days. In a competitive market, a stronger earnest money deposit can make your offer more attractive to a seller because it signals you're less likely to walk away. When you get your earnest money back. This is the part that actually matters most. Your contract will include contingencies. These are conditions that must be met for the sale to move forward, and they're what protect your earnest money. The 3 most common contingencies are inspection contingency. If the inspection reveals significant problems and you can't reach an agreement with the seller, you can typically walk away with your earnest money. Financing contingency. If your mortgage falls through despite a good faith effort to secure it, you're usually protected. Appraisal contingency. If the home appraises for less than the purchase price and you can't renegotiate, this contingency can also protect your deposit. As long as you're operating within your contingency periods and following the terms of your contract, your earnest money is refundable if the deal falls apart. When you can lose your earnest money. Now here's where buyers get burned, and it usually comes down to one of these situations: missing a contingency deadline. Every contingency has a deadline written into the contract. If you miss it, even by a day, you may lose the right to cancel and keep your deposit. Backing out for a reason that isn't covered. If you simply change your mind or decide you don't like the neighborhood after all, that is not a protected reason. The seller can typically keep your earnest money in that case, waiving contingencies to win a bidding war. This is increasingly common in competitive markets. Buyers waive the inspection or appraisal contingency to make their offer stand out. It can work, but it also means there is no safety net if something goes wrong. Failing to secure financing due to your own inaction. For example, not submitting paperwork on time or making a large purchase that disqualifies you from your loan mid-process. How to protect your earnest money. Work with an experienced agent who reviews every deadline with you. Contingency periods move fast, and it's easy to lose track. Don't waive contingencies unless you fully understand the risk and are financially prepared to accept it. Stay responsive with your lender. Delays on your end can jeopardize your financing contingency. Get everything in writing. If you and the seller agree to extend a deadline or modify a contingency, make sure it's documented. A verbal agreement won't protect you. Wrap up and call to action. So to recap, earnest money shows the seller you're serious. It typically runs 1% to 3% of the purchase price, and it's protected as long as you understand your contingencies and stick to your deadlines. If this helped make sense of the buying process, check out our full step-by-step guide to buying a home in Kansas City. Link in the description. And if you're getting ready to buy or sell in the KC Metro, reach out to Jason and Jenny directly.